All right, so good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. This is Twist Gaming, where you get to play board games with us. We're coming to you live here from GAMA in, we're in Reno, Nevada. Yeah, we're still in Reno. Bringing you all the board game coverage from throughout the week, throughout the con, all the inside scoops. But first off, let's get the introductions out of the way. As usual, I'm your host, Matt, and I'm joined here with Nolan from Deepwater Games. How you doing today, Nolan?
I'm doing excellent, Matt. Thank you so much for having me on the show.
Anytime, you're always welcome.
Oh, thank you.
So, Nolan, you are one of the co-founders of Deepwater Games, correct?
Yep. Yeah, I'm one of the co-founders.
So tell us a little bit more about Deepwater Games, the kind of stuff that you're publishing.
Yeah, absolutely. So Deepwater Games right now, we're starting out by localizing Taiwanese board games and bringing them over for the North American market. We're partnered with a company called Emperor S4. A lot of people might recognize their title Hanama Koji. That was one of their flagship titles, and we're bringing over their whole line and just localizing everything for the U.S.
So I remember you were telling me before that game won a Golden Geek Award.
Correct? It was nominated for a Golden Geek Award. Yeah. Yep. So that was like their like kind of breakout hit, and like but really all of their games are super fantastic, and they've mostly only been available like through Essen and things like that. Is how the North American gaming community has been able to find them. So we're bringing all of those over. But on top of that, Deepwater is also, we're working on our own games. We are developing IPs. We are working with a comic book publishing company as well to develop comic IPs.
You sound a little busy then.
Me? No, definitely not. Definitely not busy at all.
So I see a really pretty game here laid out on the table in front of us. What are we showing off today?
So I've got in front of us Mystery of the Temples. So I'm super excited about Mystery of the Temples. This is going to be the part of the next wave of games that we're bringing over. I've got over here these three games. We kickstarted those a couple months ago, and these are like the first games that we are launching with. But I brought Mystery of the Temples to show off because A, I love this game. I'm super excited about it, and B, we're going to be going to Kickstarter with it in a couple weeks at the end of the month.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So. Mystery of the Temples. This is I like describing it as a double rondel movement game.
Okay.
So in front of us, we've got the board laid out, and we are playing as brave adventurers traveling through the wilderness. Yes, trying to discover these. We're investigating these mysterious temples that have curses on them. And what we're trying to do is break the curses by collecting these power gems and then unlock the power inside of the temples. So what you do in Mystery of the Temples is you're going to be moving around two different rondels. You can either move on the wilderness, or you can move around on the temples. Like you can move to the temples and move around on that rondel, or you can move your meeple on the wilderness.
So forest to forest or temple to temple.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Yep. So if you're moving on the wilderness, your options are collecting or trading gems. So you move on the wilderness to try and collect gems, right? And what you need to collect gems for is, like, when you collect gems, you end up collecting them and arranging them on this player board. So there's an element of...
This is a close-up of one of the player boards here.
Yeah. So there's an element of, and welcome to grab gems too if you want.
Sure, absolutely.
Sure. So there's an element of pattern matching to this game as well. So what you have to do when you collect gems, you arrange them on your board in a pattern matching one of the temples, and the temples have you'll see they have these colored pips on them. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to collect gems and arrange them in the same order as the colored pips.
So let me just show that off here. So we got the colored pips here. So that's around the top there, correct?
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Absolutely. So you've got the colored pips, and you're collecting the gems arranging them on your board in the same order in order to break the curse. So once you have enough gems to break a curse, you can travel to that temple, right? And so if I had blue, red, purple gems, I could take one of my curse-breaking cubes and place it there, and I would score 5 points.
Okay.
Break that curse. Nobody else could go there. There's also scoring objectives that have a little bit of area control for who's broken the most curses. But then on top of that, you also get to unlock one of the runes of that temple, and the runes give you bonus abilities that are tied to all of the different actions on the board. So there's an element of engine building to it as well.
So this is the back of one of the rune cards there, and this one's action here. If you could explain that for us.
Yeah. So you'll see that there's a symbol on it. It's the hexagon symbol, and on other cards around the board, you'll see that they have symbols on them. So whenever you land on an action, like for example, this one has the same symbol as that.
So this is going to be fun.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Screen, but yeah, so that's the same symbol there.
Right. So whenever you land on that action space, you get to take the action as normal, but because you have a matching rune, you get the bonus ability on that rune. So that rune has plus blue. So you would get to take an additional blue crystal with that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So there's that element of engine building where you're kind of ramping up, and you're going to be able to break harder and harder curses faster and faster. And the game just like plays and flows so well. I love it, and the artwork on it is gorgeous. One of the things that we're doing with the North American version is we are making it colorblind friendly. We're including colorblind friendly components. So we've changed the temples and all the wilderness cards to have icons included as well.
Very good.
And then including punchboard tokens to replace the crystals for people if they're help with color blindness.
Yeah, so that's definitely something that we take into account on the stream. One of our members here, Josh, is actually colorblind.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So whenever we're doing a review of some of the board games that are coming out, we always make a point of noting whether or not he has any issues and if there is distinctive iconography that that you could distinguish between.
Yeah, the absolutely. Things. It's a really big deal. Like, I mean, accessibility in general in board games is a huge deal. Like, the only way this market's going to grow, the communities can grow, is for games to be more and more accessible. And so that's really important to us.
As all inclusive as possible to all the people.
Absolutely. Yeah. But yeah, so that's Mystery of the Temples. We've got this is the multi-regional box over here that I brought with me. This is the publisher's original version. And the games that we're bringing over, we're actually making the box sizes a little bit bigger, a little bit more standardized, and so that'll be one of the differences, along with the colorblind friendliness, the editing and translating the rule books and things like that. So. We're super excited about this game. It's actually going to be on Kickstarter in a bundle with a couple other games that we're bringing over as well, which include Sorcerer and Stones and Roundhouse, a couple other one lighter puzzle game and a bigger Euro strategy game, actually set in Asian history.
So it's going to be a bundled Kickstarter then?
Kind of, yeah. So we're highlighting Mystery of the Temples because we're putting a lot of effort into making this colorblind friendly and the localization and everything.
Absolutely.
But we're going to have the other games available on it as well. So we put these into production already. We for example, these games, we fulfilled the Kickstarter super fast. That was one of the appeals of it, is that we finished the Kickstarter in the middle of February and we're fulfilling it this week.
Less than a month.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's impressive.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, we love these games. We think other people are going to love them, so we want to get them to you as fast as possible.
Fantastic. So tell me, what's some of your favorite aspects there of Mystery of the Temples?
So one of my favorite things about Mystery of the Temples is that it is the ease of accessibility, the approachability of it is really nice. It's not. It is at heart, it's a Euro game, right? You're moving on rondels and collecting gems and maximizing the actions you're taking by grabbing the correct runes, right? So at its heart, it's a Euro game, but it is very compact and very approachable. And so everybody that I've introduced this to, even brand new gamers to the hobby, they love it. They get into it right away. I always worry, I'm like, oh man, they're not gonna like my games because it's too complicated or something. No, everybody who's played this has just jumped right into it and usually kicked my butt at it too.
But speaking of the approachability, it's also very pretty when it's laid out on the table like this, where you've got the cards laid out in the circular pattern there, and you've got your stack of gems in the middle. And I could definitely see that being a nice little focal point, people walking by. Because when you see this, my mind does not jump to this is a Euro game.
Exactly, yeah. It draws you in, and that's actually one of the appeals of a lot of Emperor S4's line, and it's something that's super important to me too, because prior to being a publisher, I was an artist in the game industry, and so this is super important to me to have that really nice appeal as with the artwork, and have it draw people in. So
fantastic. Yeah. So is there anything else you want to talk about with Mystery of the Temples before I start bugging you about some of the other stuff going
No, that's about it. That's it for Mystery of the Temples. Yeah.
Fantastic. So what else is going on at Deepwater Games there that I can ask you? What's coming down the pipeline that maybe you haven't completely announced yet, that maybe you can give me a spoiler on? I'm gonna pull the thread there and see what I can get out of you.
Yeah, absolutely. So we just planned we just this week at GAMA planned our Gen Con releases. One of them I can't talk about at all yet, but ask me again in a few weeks.
I will.
And then on top of that, we've also got another game plan for Gen Con release from Emperor S4, and that is it is another small box strategy game, but very light, accessible, approachable, in that same vein. So we're super excited about that. I can't talk too much about that yet either, other than it exists. Yep. And then something else that we're working on and we're going to be announcing in the next few weeks is our first in-house game.
Very nice.
Yep, we signed a really phenomenal game late last year, and we've been developing it, and it's coming along so well. We've got the artwork rolling out for it and everything, and that game will be kickstarting it towards the end of this year, and it'll be put into production right away and coming out really quickly to backers as well. Because not just with our localized line, we also want to do that with the games that we're producing too.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So is there anything else you want to talk about while I got you here today before we call it a wrap for this lovely interview?
I mean, Matt, I could talk your ear off, but no, I think this is good. I really appreciate it, man.
Well, I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, thank
you very much.
My pleasure, man.
And thank you all for watching at home. Stay tuned for the upcoming coverage for the rest of the day here at GAMA in Reno, Nevada. But for now, I'm still your host, Matt. Thanks again, Nolan.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you.
Have a good one, everyone.